So today, we're going to look past that picture-perfect postcard image of Canada. We're going to uncover some of the hidden pressures that a lot of people are facing every single day. And we're going to be guided by the work of Major Retired Tariq to explore the real day-to-day stresses that kind of define modern Canadian life. And this is the image we all know, right? As Major Tariq points out, Canada has this amazing global reputation for being safe, full of opportunity, and having a high quality of life. For so many, it's the dream. But that image, it doesn't really tell the whole story. What happens when you actually look a little closer? What are those challenges bubbling just beneath the surface? The ones that really affect our mental health, our families, and just our general sense of well-being. Okay, so here's our game plan. We're going to start with a bit of a reality check. Then we'll dig into the financial squeeze and the very real human cost of all this. And then, and this is so important, we'll get into Major Tariq's practical toolkit for building resilience before we wrap up by talking about a new way to measure success. First up, the Canadian reality check. So the main idea here from Major Tariq is that, yeah, Canada offers incredible opportunities, absolutely. But to actually thrive here, you've got to understand and really be proactive about managing its unique set of modern stresses. And that leads us right into our second section, the financial squeeze. For so many people, this is where the pressure feels the most real, the most tangible. It shows up right there in your bank account and your monthly budget. Let's just start with a number that'll stop you in your tracks. According to Major Tariq's guide, a lot of Canadian families are spending between 40 and 60% of their income just on housing. I mean, think about that for a second. More than half your paycheck is gone before you even think about groceries or savings. That's a huge, constant weight on your shoulders. And this isn't just some abstract number. This is what it looks like in real life. An interest rate hike happens, and suddenly an extra $900 a month just vanishes from the family budget. That's the money for swimming lessons, for a weekend trip, for that little bit of breathing room. Poof, it's gone. Another big pressure point is this whole idea of free healthcare. And look, our public system is great. It covers the big things like visiting a doctor or staying in the hospital. But Major Tariq really highlights these significant out-of-pocket costs that just pile up. We're talking dental, vision, prescriptions, and really critical services like therapy. These are not small expenses. And then there's just the daily grind of inflation, that feeling when a simple trip to the grocery store can cause some serious anxiety. Just think about this for a second. An $80 increase in your weekly food bill? That might not sound like a catastrophe, but for a lot of people, that is their entire savings margin for the month. It just completely erases any hope of getting ahead. But the pressure, it's not just financial, is it? So for Section 3, we're going to explore the deeper human cost. This is about the emotional and the social stresses that come from work, from family, and from that challenge of just trying to find your place. This is something Major Tariq really emphasizes, especially for skilled newcomers. You might arrive here with years of top-notch experience, fantastic qualifications, but then you face this incredibly frustrating gap between your potential and your actual reality. And look, this isn't just about money. It's about dignity. It's about your confidence and feeling like you're valued for what you know. Then you go home and a whole different kind of stress can pop up right at the dinner table. You have parents who grew up with one set of cultural values, and they find their kids are naturally embracing Canadian norms of independence. This can create a really painful divide where, the love is there, but the understanding just isn't. And then there's this quiet struggle, loneliness. It really comes from a few different places. A culture that really values privacy and independence, not having that extended family support system just down the street, and yeah, even the long, tough winters that keep us indoors. You put all that together, and it can create this profound sense of social isolation, which is a massive health issue all on its own. Okay, so we've laid out the problems, and they're real. But this is all about finding solutions. So let's get into our fourth section, building your resilience toolkit. This is where we get into Major Tariq's direct, practical, no-nonsense advice for taking back some control. All right, on the money front, it's all about being proactive. Major Tariq's advice is super clear. You've got to track everything. And this is so critical. Live based on what you can actually comfortably afford, not what the bank tells you you're approved for. Building that safety net, embracing a simpler lifestyle, this isn't about feeling deprived. It's about creating stability and genuine peace of mind. Now, when it comes to workplace stress, the strategy is all about staying ready and protecting your own mindset. So yeah, keep your skills sharp, keep your network active, but honestly,
maybe the most powerful piece of advice from Major Tariq here is to untangle your identity from your job title. Your title is what you do, it's not who you are.
And what about fighting that isolation and family friction? Well, it all starts with empathy, choosing connection over being the authority figure. It's about actively getting out there and finding your community, maybe through volunteering or a local club. And so importantly, making it okay to talk about mental health and to actually ask for help when you need it.
And all of this brings us to our final and I think most powerful section, a new measure of success. Because after you understand all the pressures and you have the tools to manage them, Major Tariq asks us to just step back and maybe redefine the whole goal of the game. This right here is a huge mindset shift that he proposes. What if stress wasn't a sign that you're failing? What if it's just the check engine light for your life? It's just a signal telling you it's time to pull over for a second, look at the map, and maybe choose a different route. So if that's the case, what's the real destination? Well, Major Tariq argues that the ultimate prize isn't the biggest house or the highest salary. True success is a life that's rich in the things money just can't buy: peace of mind, good health, and strong, meaningful connections with the people you love. And so, as we wrap up this deep dive into Major Tariq's work, that's really the final question he leaves us with.